Welcome to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit. In a world where private cars were once a rarity in China, the country has now shifted gears to become the world's largest auto market. This shift has been a boon for foreign automakers, but the ride is getting bumpy. As Michael Dunn, CEO of Dunn Insights, warns, Detroit is under pressure in China. If they lose in China, they could very easily lose globally. Despite the challenges, some argue that foreign firms need to double down. Stay tuned as we delve into the reasons behind this. Reason number 5. The massive market. The birth of China's automotive industry can be traced back to the early 1980s, when two Chinese automakers formed joint ventures with foreign manufacturers, one American and one German. At that time, the industry was in its infancy, with the Volkswagen Santana, the first vehicle, selling 1,700 units and dominating the market. The concept of a private car was non-existent, and the only buyers were government institutions. However, the landscape transformed dramatically with the reforms of the 80s and 90s. The 1994 auto policy allowed foreign automakers to own up to a 50% share in a joint venture with any Chinese auto manufacturer. This policy, coupled with China's economic liberalization and growth, fueled a boom in auto sales. By the late 90s, General Motors, then the world's largest automaker, had entered China, partnering with Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation. The demand for cars tripled in the 90s and early 2000s, and China's entry into the WTO provided foreign automakers with more security and predictability. In less than a decade, sales grew tenfold, catapulting China to the position of the world's largest car market. This marked the beginning of a new era in the global automotive industry. Reason number 4, rise and fall. Between 2014 and 2018, General Motors, GM, was at the pinnacle of success in China, earning $2 billion annually from its operations and joint ventures. In 2017, GM sold 4 million cars in China, surpassing its North American sales by 500,000. The Buick brand was particularly successful, with 80% of its global sales coming from China. However, the journey took a detour. GM's sales in China have been declining since 2017. By 2023, they had dropped to 2.1 million, falling below their US sales for the first time since 2009. GM's equity income from the country also plummeted 34% in 2023 to $446 million. Michael Dunn notes, "Things have been going downhill and the descent is accelerating. GM's sales are down by more than 50%. Ford's down by more than 60%. Jeep has even gone bankrupt in China and had to exit." Lei Xin, former chief editor of China Auto Review, adds, "It's very abrupt, very sudden, but I think it shows the maturity of these Chinese competitors." Before we delve deeper, do us a favor and smash that like and subscribe button. This helps us reach more auto enthusiasts just like you. Now let's shift gears and steer towards our next point. Reason number 3. The evolution unveiled. The rise of Chinese cars is a story of rapid improvement. Initially, Chinese firms failed in crash tests, but within a decade, they achieved excellent results thanks to knowledge gained from foreign partners. Cross-border investments played a crucial role in creating globally competitive brands. For instance, Nanjing Automobile Group bought the legendary British brand MGM, and Geely acquired Volvo cars from Ford and spun out the Polestar performance line as a standalone EV brand. Government support was instrumental in this transformation. China invested heavily in EVs, partly to combat its severe air pollution problem. In 2008, during the financial crisis, the Chinese government made massive investments in transportation, including a nationwide high-speed railway system, airports, and highways. Chinese firms are now leading the world in battery development and production. They have also become strong in software and infotainment systems, thanks to the country's rise in the mobile phone and electronics industries. New entrants with tech backgrounds like Li Auto, Xpeng, NIO, Xiaomi, Huawei, Baidu, Tencent, and Alibaba View the car as a technology platform for distributing services and generating continual service revenue. This concept of the car as a rolling smartphone is already the norm in China. Reason number 2, the power of productivity. While many outside China perceive its economy as centrally controlled, the reality is nuanced. 3 major automakers are controlled by Beijing, but most are owned by provincial or municipal governments, with some being entirely private. China's auto market is highly competitive, with a large number of producers and models. The intense competition, amplified by Tesla's price war in 2023, has accelerated vehicle development. In China, a car model can be refreshed within 12 months and sold at a lower price, a pace foreign automakers struggle to match. Chinese CEOs like Elon Musk engage with customers on social media platforms such as Weibo and TikTok, creating tight feedback loops. However, political factors have also played a role in shaping the industry. For instance, a 2017 agreement between GM and South Korea led to a nosedive in sales for both Detroit and Korean automakers in China. Over time, China has rolled back many of its rules, such as requiring joint ventures, allowing for more open competition. As Lei Xin notes, the Chinese themselves learned they grew strong enough, so now there's no more production needed. Let's just have people compete. Let's have the market open up. Reason number 1, the future. Michael Dunn added, "I don't want to sound overly dramatic. I just want to be realistic when I say that within the next 5 years, Ford, GM, Hyundai, Kia, Nissan, more likely than not, will be out of China. Some automakers, such as Volkswagen, the first foreign firm in the country, are trying to retrench and stay in the game. They're working with local firms and trying to move faster from decision to execution. Tesla might be in better shape than its Detroit rivals, at least for now. It was the first foreign automaker to be able to set up shop in China without a joint venture, thanks to the liberalization of trade policies. Russo, the former Chrysler executive, hopes U.S. firms will not back out of the country and instead invest more in local design, development, and production. He said, "My fear is most of the global automakers have delayed the investment in EV because they don't see Americans embracing the electric vehicle." He thinks foreign firms can still compete in the market and maybe even chalk up some wins. Russo added, "Stay in the game in the next 3 to 5 years. Don't give up, right? Invest and find some way to introduce those products. Maybe even build them in China. If you can't find scale in the United States, and then you at least have the hedge on the possibility of competing with China as they go global." That's all for today's episode, folks. Don't forget to subscribe to Piston Pundit to stay updated with the latest vehicle updates and upcoming videos. See you next time. Drive safe.